You step out of line, you make one false move, you're out of here. Don't think you're the first.
Come on, buckos, let's go for a ride.
Hello everyone, my name is Easy and welcome to another episode of Easy Does It, where we review and react to YouTube channels and sometimes do daily vlogs. Now before we get started, I want to apologize for not posting last week. I had some things going on last week, so I wasn't able to post. Anyways, this week we're going to take a look at another type of list channel called Looper. Now, YouTube has gone and changed stuff in the past couple of weeks. In fact, they literally erased most of the stuff I usually watch, and then they post recommendations. They got rid of a bunch of, I don't know what happened, but it's like they erased my history or whatever, what I watch or some crap. And it changed everything. And then I got to noticing something else. You know, where it usually, you know, down below this, you have home, videos, shorts, podcasts, playlists, community. Usually they also have channels and an about list down here, but now they've changed that. It's no longer like that. You have to go all the way down to the bottom of the page to see the channels, different channels that a particular channel might have, or you gotta go over here and you gotta click on this little arrow and it brings up the about section. I don't know why they did that. It's kind of stupid. It was fine the way it was. This bringing up a new box to see links and channel details and crap is kind of dumb. But anyways, so Looper's been a channel on here since 2015, so they've been on for a little while. They've got over 4 million views. Or is that 4 billion? Yeah, I think that's 4 billion views. But they've got a shit ton of videos. They have about 5.7 million subscribers, so they're doing really well. Anytime you get into the million range, you're doing really good. And over 5 million subscribers is pretty damn good. But I figured we'd check out their latest, see if we agree or disagree on some of it. And this happens to be, let's see, obscure 80s sci-fi hidden gems you need to watch before you die. So, let's check it out, see if it's any good. I've never watched this channel.
CGI spokesmodels hawk housewares, Indiana Jones meets Mad Max in space, and an accidental phone call warns of nuclear war. Or does it? You won't want to miss these 80s sci-fi gems. Between his time playing Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars trilogy and the sequel trilogy, Mark Hamill's most high-profile role was playing the Joker for various Batman TV shows and video games.
It has to do with time travel or something, if I remember right.
Decades, including another sci-fi film
it's okay.
In the 80s. Albeit one that didn't take place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. A small but fervent fanbase sings the praises of 1989's Slipstream, the story of a near-future Earth that has been left a barren wasteland due to pollution and natural disasters, where bounty hunters battle the police for the right to bring criminals to justice.
Poison dart. Now drop the gun and we'll talk about getting you the antidote.
I never believe a man staring down the barrel of a gun. Hamill once described Slipstream on Twitter as, quote, one of my favorite movies that most people have never seen. If the recommendation of Hamill and his Twitter followers doesn't convince you to check out this underappreciated film, how about the fact that it also
it was okay.
Abraham and Ben Kingsley?
It wasn't really that great.
By Tron director Steven Lisberger.
To be honest.
1980s Battle Beyond the Stars as well.
Okay.
Down for fans of sci-fi.
I'm a huge fan of this movie. I love this movie. But it's a story that's been done many, many times. It's just done in space. You know, where
work includes Aliens, Star Trek 2,
you got
and Avatar.
someone attacking the village, and then someone from the village, they don't really know how to fight, so they go get some mercenaries and help them fight the raiders of the village. That's basically what this main story is. It's just done a little different. But it was really cool because they had all kinds of cool looking fucking aliens and shit in the movie. I mean, it was cheesy. You might know him from John Boy, from the Waltons or whatever that old 80s show was.
The new wave/post-punk aesthetic of the 1980s that was most prominent in music, fashion, and hair salons also found itself
absolutely not
in sci-fi. This was most prominently illustrated in Blade Runner, the movie that informed the cyberpunk.
Blade Runner was amazing.
For decades to come.
Liquid Sky is trash. It's a musical, and I hate musicals.
As it was all but guaranteed to be
Hate
completely swallowed up by Ridley Scott's masterpiece. Still images of Liquid Sky look like an early MTV music video.
Yeah, it was terrible. Absolutely not. Do not watch this film. It sucks. It's not a gem. It's trash. As you can see, it just looks stupid. Because it is. It's dumb.
Sky is a very adult movie and doesn't tread lightly in its depiction of a drug and sex-fueled Manhattan that soon finds itself under the influence of a
exactly. It's all about sex and drugs. It's dumb.
If it seems like a movie you can handle, and you're a fan of Blade Runner and the pop culture zeitgeist it was tapping into,
no,
definitely seek out.
It doesn't even come close to comparing to Blade Runner.
Like Charlie Sheen did in 1986.
Okay, The Wraith. This is another one I've seen. I've seen all these so far.
Platoon, Bueller's Day Off, Lucas, and a little indie sci-fi movie called
The Wraith was actually a pretty decent movie. It's basically a revenge movie. He gets killed by these guys, and then he comes back as the Wraith, and, you know, takes revenge on him as it goes.
Would explaining further ruin the movie, but it also doesn't do the admittedly convoluted plot any favors trying to boil it down.
I did a review of this not too long ago on my other channel.
The Wraith does tell a pretty interesting story with a few surprising twists. But the biggest reason to check it out is that it presents one of the coolest and most underrated anti-heroes of that era sci-fi. Not to mention that every scene of the movie absolutely drips with the mid-1980s cool. Especially the awesome version of a Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor that the Wraith uses as both transportation and weapon.
Yep.
Intentionally campy movies tend to rise and fall in
popularity
as time goes on.
Yes.
Companies like Troma Entertainment
Mary Catherine Stewart. Man, that's her right there.
Helps to make the 1980s
gorgeous
the
woman.
best eras of all time.
Anyways,
campiness, sci-fi, and
this is basically like a zombie movie.
In the 1984 Extraterrestrial,
one of the better zombie movies ever.
Starring Catherine Mary Stewart of Flight of the Navigator, Kelly Maroney of Chopping Mall, and future Star Trek Voyager commander Robert Beltram. The cast members of Night of the Comet are all great choices for the various genres the movie is attempting. The story sees the aftermath of a comet that has vaporized much of the population, leaving only a small number of survivors to contend with the zombies that the comet.
Well, it's kind of dumb how they survive.
There's nobody. I mean, there's nobody.
They sleep in a metal building. If they sleep in a metal building, they don't get the radiation of the comet. It's kind of dumb. But whatever. The rest of the film, I mean, it's a little cheesy, but it's good. Excellent movie. 2 thumbs up. Check it out. Looker. I've never seen that movie. I know the movie.
Congo, and Sphere.
But I've never
Since
watched
all of them got
Looker.
stellar screen adaptations, it doesn't detract from what an ever-present force he was on both the page and the screen over multiple decades. Crichton sometimes bypassed writing a book altogether, instead writing a story directly for the screen, as he did with his criminally overlooked 1980
It's something to do with,
the sci-fi movie satirizes
which has been done
the control
before,
that the media has over people, and in particular,
you
how
know,
much
a
influence
computer-generated
physical
model
effectiveness
or some
Looker
shit
also
like that.
predicted the mainstream popularity of plastic surgery, as well as the fairly recent phenomenon of computer-generated celebrities and spokespeople.
See? Yeah, I knew it had something to do with that. Something to do with AI.
In addition, Looker is underappreciated for the way it pioneered the use of computer effects and images in films, having the first true CGI character ever used in a movie, as well as using 3D computer shading before Tron did, even though Tron often erroneously gets the credit for doing that first. The movie that the Ice Pirates was most frequently compared to
Yes.
release was Star Wars, and that is
Yes.
certainly valid. But the
This
also
movie
draws
is
inspiration from Star Trek, Battlestar
great.
Galactica,
It's
Mad
awesome.
Max, and Indiana Jones.
It definitely
It's
is
the kind of
80s
movie that
cheese,
both
but
pokes
it's
fun at
funny.
science fiction
It has
and
some
movies
comedy
from the
in it.
genre, while also
It's kind of like
demonstrating
a,
love and featuring
because
early
as I was
appearances
saying,
from
I've
Pullman and
done a
Angelica
review
Houston,
on this
and
long
stars
ago
Robert
on
Urich
my
as
other
Jason,
channel.
who leads the pirates
This is a
on
great
various
movie.
intergalactic missions. While
It's
silliness
funny,
is
it's
definitely the
cheesy,
order of the day,
sci-fi,
there's a character called the
80s,
Pink Robot, for example. The
but
Ice
it was
Pirates
good. It's a
takes itself
comedy.
seriously as a production and feels
It's
like
kind of a
ambitious as being
parody
the
on
start of an ongoing franchise.
space
Poor
movie,
reviews
but it
and
was
an
good.
underwhelming box office take
It's
show
done
that
really
those
good.
plans didn't come to pass, which is too bad, as it seems like further Ice Pirates movies could have really
Yeah,
been
they
something
could have
special,
done
a
more
fully
with
formed
this. I
narrative
don't know
universe.
why they
As it
didn't.
stands, it's a fun little one-off that
It
was
was
among the
such
first
a
to
good
do,
movie.
and later productions like Red Dwarf, Spaceballs, Mars Attacks, and Galaxy Quest a lot more attention and recognition. The vast majority of the movies on this list got fairly lukewarm reviews at best.
I've
and
never heard
needed
of Miracle
retrospective
Mile.
analysis and a cult following to get their due. Miracle Mile, on the other hand, was pretty strongly praised right from the start, and shouldn't have had to be relegated to the dustbin of cinematic history. But audiences just didn't show up for it, and for one reason or another, it never got that push that VHS rentals and years of TV reruns did for so many of its peers. The premise of the movie, the entirety of which takes place almost in real time within a single night, is that the world has been whipped up into a frenzied panic over an impending nuclear war that will leave post-apocalyptic.
Well, that's not a new story. That's been done several
and all of the
times.
hysteria surrounding it might not be based on any credible information whatsoever. Indeed, Miracle Mile might have felt current at the time given its proximity to the Cold War.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that
fears
movie.
of that generation,
Oh, I may have
but
checked
that's
it out and
really
do a
fictitious
review on
thanks
my
to
other
similar
channel.
panics resulting from questionable news sources.
Huh.
Bonus points for the gorgeous score by Tangerine Dream, and what is arguably a career-best performance from Anthony Edwards. Though it was a huge hit in Japan and was at the time the most expensive movie ever produced in the country, Fukatsu no Hai, which translates to Day of Resurrection, never got the chance to become the Western crossover success
Yeah.
that it could have been.
Never heard of this
It
one.
was screened at the 1980 Cannes Film Festival under the title Virus. It didn't get much attention, due in no small part having to contend with Akira Kurosawa's Kagemusha being the toast of the festival that year. It got a VHS release a few years later, but with little fanfare since nobody really knew anything about it. This was surprising considering its international cast that included George Kennedy, Olivia Hussey, and Robert Vaughn, as well as Japanese actor Sonny Chiba, who was fairly well known to American audiences at the time. But American sci-fi fans should rectify this immediately, as Virus is an excellent film that, by all rights, deserves to have had 2 or 3 sequels or remakes by this point. Virus tells the story of a man-made virus that is inadvertently released and subsequently causes a massive pandemic, resulting in riots and widespread civil unrest.
It's more sci-fi drama, way
Fans of more
too
well-known
dramatized.
sci-fi movies like Outbreak,
It's not.
Contagion, 12 Monkeys, and
Yeah.
Quarantine should go back and check out Virus.
Eh,
French filmmaker Luc
I know of a
Besson is
different
known to
Virus
sci-fi
movie.
fans as the writer and director of both 1997's genre-defining The Fifth Element and 2017's more underrated Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. It turns out that he actually has a third sci-fi movie in his filmography that many people believe to be an overlooked gem, and it was actually his directorial debut. Released in 1983 in his native France, Le Dernier Combat, or The Last Battle, can easily be enjoyed by anyone, whether they know French or not, as the movie is almost entirely devoid devoid of dialogue. But it's not just some artsy gimmick, as the story of the film is about a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has lost the ability to speak. As such, the characters don't have names. They are simply referred to with labels such as man, brute, and so on. From his very first movie, Besson was already an extremely innovative and self-assured filmmaker, and Le Dernier Combat aged much better than most film debuts.
I'm not a big foreign film
multiple hidden gem sci-fi movies
watcher.
over the decades.
Just foreign films don't do it for me. Oh, that seems to be the end. Anyways, that is Looper. Like many list channels, you know, he does all kinds of pop culture and stuff or whatever. That seems alright. It looked okay to me. Most of those movies on that list I'd heard of. The last two, the foreign films, of course not, because I usually don't pay attention to foreign films. I just don't care for them. And there was a couple on there that I'd never heard of, like that Miracle Mile. I've never heard of that. Looker, I've heard of, but I've never watched. It just didn't appeal to me. The type of story, you know, CGI model thing, AI thing, whatever. It just, I've seen other stuff like that. So, Liquid Sky, I would never watch because it's a degenerate movie. It's all about dumb. The music in it's terrible. It's a musical. It's just dumb. I don't like musicals. I hate them. But yeah, most of those movies are actually pretty good that he lists. Just a few of them. Anyways, if you like these kind of channels, check it out. He seems to be okay. It's the first time I've ever watched Looper, which is surprising since he has so many subscribers. Like I said, YouTube, like I'll watch one, maybe some of y'all have experienced this with YouTube. I'll watch one particular fucking video of something, and then it wants to flood, YouTube wants to flood my recommendations page with tons of videos from either that YouTube channel or something very similar. And it's like one or two of the same kind. And it's usually something that I normally don't watch. And I'm like, why are you putting all this junk on here that I usually don't watch? Just because I check out one freaking video that's similar, you got to put all this crap on here. And you hardly see anything that you usually watch anymore. It's just, but I don't know. They did something in the past couple of weeks and changed a bunch of stuff. Like I was showing you about the, you know, the links down here on, you know, the profile pages. They changed it all. And I don't know why. It's dumb. Anyways, I'm going off on a rant. Because YouTube pisses me off so bad. I absolutely hate when they go changing crap. You don't need to change shit that works. Leave it the fuck alone. Anyways, check out Looper. He seems okay if you want to, if you're into list channels. I'm not sure what we'll do next time. I'll take a look again at my recommendations, see if I find anything I haven't checked out before, maybe a different type, because for some reason, I tend to watch a lot of paranormal stuff and, you know, stuff like this, list channels, you know, some ASMR, and that's usually political channels, a few political channels I tend to watch. I've covered just about all the political channels I usually watch. But that's usually what I watch. So I usually don't watch stuff. Every once in a while I'll have something on there where if you guys want me to review it, one of them. Every now and then I'll have something on there where they're building something, like building a hut or something, from wood and dirt and crap like that. I've had some of that recommended to me. Walking tours. I've had some channels where they just walk around like in the Philippines or something, and that's literally all they do. They just walk around like in the slums of the Philippines or something, That's it. Maybe I'll do something like that, or well, let me know if you have any recommendations of channels I should check out and review and get a reaction from. So, until next time, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.